Hello, accountability partners. David Halpern of Mastery Consulting. I want to talk about modeling the world's wealthiest man, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, who's now surpassed Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and everybody else for wealthiest man on the planet. So perhaps we could learn something from this terrific businessman who says the three secrets to his success are: number one, customer first; number two, innovation always. If you're taking notes, you might want to write that down. If you're not taking notes, you might want to write that down. Innovation always. And number three, long-term over short-term. So Bezos creates this incredible business 22 years ago that you could actually shop online from home and have things delivered to you in almost any category. And you know what he did as a follow-up? His encore was to say, you know what? Let's put the customer first. Let's innovate always. And let's also give them TV shows and movies. And while we're at it, let's just start our own studio and produce our own content. What? He pulled that one off. Don't ask me. By the way, you may know that today he's doing things like competing against Elon Musk with those commercial rockets to put people in space. And apparently he's winning the race against Musk. Crazy stuff here. But here's what I want to share with you more importantly. For 13 of the 22 years of Amazon's existence, they have lost money. The world's wealthiest man in the world's richest, most profitable business, they've lost money in 13 of 22 years. How does that happen? And the answer is simple. They reinvest in most of their years, the majority of their years, they have reinvested every penny and then some, because innovation always, long-term over short-term. Guys, I have a private coaching client who for about 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, decided he was just going to take a $4,000 a month salary from his business, even though they were having success. And he decided he wanted to reinvest everything over and above it every single month of the business. And his reason was to avoid paying taxes. But what he discovered now several years later is the magic of doing that. A couple months ago, his wife gave birth to a second child. He took the month off and asked me to continue on his, leading his conference calls with his teammates. When he came back from having his second boy, comes back to work and goes, and I was sharing with him, do you know how much profit your company made last month? Because it was the first month in years where you didn't reinvest because you weren't there to lead that charge, that every money actually went into the company bank account. It poured cash into the company. And by the way, the reason that happened was because they continuously reinvested every month for 3 years. My question for you is, do you reinvest in your business? Do you reinvest at all? So let's shift gears here. There are only 3 forms of investment in a business. By the way, if you're not doing any of these, you are not a business owner. You're a salesperson. If you are a business owner, 3 forms of investment with the highest return. Are you ready? Number 1, marketing. Number 2, people. And number 3, mentoring. It may not surprise you to know I'm biased and I believe the sequence is incorrect, and I'm going to give you my sequence on this. And I believe this strongly, that the first great investment with the highest return is in your mentoring. Because if your thinking doesn't change, your business will not change and you will not sustain growth, marketing, or anything else for that matter. My business has changed and has become wonderful because of you folks, and also because of the mentoring of several specific people over the years, for which I invested heavily, by the way. First comes mentoring. Number 2 comes people. Why? Because we need to invest in people to hold our new higher levels of production, to keep the funnel flooded, make that the new normal, and grow from there. People come second highest return in business. Many of you are afraid to invest in people. You think it's just going to be a cost and you'll never recover it. But what you don't understand is the return on investment with people is high. If you're paying people this month this much, you have the capacity now to expand your business dramatically more. And the third is marketing. And the reason marketing is the third and last out of the big 3 is simply because most of the best marketing is free anyway. Database. The principle here is you must reinvest. Like Jeff Bezos or my private coaching client that I mentioned, the key to business is long-term over short-term. What would your business look like in 5 years if you reinvested some or all of your excess earnings? You might feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck in the short term, but you will break out of living paycheck to paycheck in the long term. My question for you today is based on what we just shared with you. What might you do differently in the near future to improve your business?